You're going to be paying more tax soon, and this is why. Now, if you're earning money right now, or even if you're not, and you're just spending money in the economy, you are affected by this. So pay attention. Let's start with income tax. Income tax is a progressive tax in nature. And that's because the way income tax works is you have different bands, and once you reach that band, you pay a higher amount of tax on the earnings within that band. For example, the first £12,570 you earn, you don't pay any tax on. It's what we call the personal allowance. But for every pound over the personal allowance that you earn, you pay a 20% rate of tax. And you pay that 20% on all earnings between £12,751 and £50,270. And that is a tax band. That's called the basic rate. Now you can see on screen now how it then goes up from there. Now to start with, if you're lucky enough to be paying the additional rate of tax, meaning you earn over £150,000, from April this additional tax rate will be charged on more of your income. And that's because the threshold at which you pay the higher tax is being lowered from £150,000 down to £125,140. But what about the rest of us who aren't paying that additional rate of tax? Or at least we're not yet, because the Dogecoin hasn't come through yet. Well, for us, we're still going to be paying more tax as well, and that's because the government have decided to keep the tax rates the same. Now hold on a minute, because that sounds crazy. If they're keeping it the same, why will I be paying more taxes? And the reason is the word we've been hearing far too often recently, and that word is inflation. When inflation rises, this weakens the purchasing power of people's money. So in response to that, employers have to pay people more money in order to incentivize them to work or just stay in that job without switching. This is also compounded by the fact that we kind of have a weird sort of labour shortage at the moment. Now, we know that in the private sector, wages have been rising by around 6%. And we tend to see that actually the wage rises run behind inflation. So inflation's at 10.1%, wages haven't caught up yet, so they're only increasing by 6% in the private sector. Of course, in the public sector, we're seeing all over the news the issues with pay rises there. We're not going to go into that here. But anyway, what this means is you are earning more money. So that's going to pull you into a higher tax band. Now, remember what's going on here. You're not actually earning more money. The reason why your money is going up is because the business is equating for the inflation in a pay rise. And we said it's not enough. So it's 6% to cover 10.1%. So you're still losing out. So if you're sat on the border of one of these tax thresholds, you're likely going to be pulled up into that tax threshold and therefore taxed more. But actually the money you have is worth less because of inflation. So you're kind of getting hit doubly as hard. Additionally to this, if you have investments or you're interested in investing, which you probably are if you're watching this channel, then it's likely you will also be paying more tax soon. And that's because of a change in capital gains tax. So for this coming tax year, the amount of capital gains you can make, that is the amount of gains you make when you sell a stock or an asset, is going to be £6,000. For the next tax year, it's going to be half to £3,000. So obviously on those investments, when you sell them, you're going to be paying more tax. And there are a load of exemptions and loopholes here, and I'm not a tax advisor or I'm not giving you any financial advice. I am a guy on the internet with a camera and a microphone. So do your own research. So that's income, but you may say to me, right Ben, I'm a student or I don't earn over the personal allowance, so why would I care about this? Well, you are also paying more tax. And that's because as the price of goods and services are inflating, as it's rising, the amount of tax you're paying on those goods is rising also. So for example, value added tax or VAT is charged at the standard rate at 20%. And that's charged on the purchase price of the good. As the value of the good is going up because the price is going up with inflation, that means you'll be paying more tax on that good. And this will affect everyone. And yes, someone's going to say in the comment,
well, what if I only buy stuff that's exempt from VAT?
Well, sure, but no one really does that. If you do that, let me know down below because we need to talk. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but as the old adage goes, there are two certainty in life's death and taxes. If you enjoyed, then follow the channel for more videos, give it a like also, and I'll see you all in another video.